And we are rolling. I clicked the X instead of the oh. Hello and welcome to the 10-minute tabletop talk podcast. My name is Grant Ellis and I'm joined by tonight with
Jessica Osborne.
Jessica, who is one of my favoriteest people in the world. Question for you. If there is a lesson from UX,
Mm-hmm.
user experience, that could be applied to tabletop experiences,
Mm-hmm.
um, what are some of your top thoughts on that?
Always be testing, which seems like not much, but it's very important. And how you test is also important. Uh, the other big thing that is probably less known, I would say, by folks doing game design is know your audience. Take time to figure out who you are actually writing your product for. Don't always just write off the cuff. Write off the cuff for pleasure, but if you're trying to create something that you want to sell, figure out who you are writing, who you are making this product for.
So you have designed a number of games. Out of the games you have designed, which do you feel you've best captured these principles with?
None of them. No. I
Oh,
have published exactly one game, and that one was much more of a for fun project that happened to fulfill a personal desire. That said, I did actually write it with people in mind. I had people who I had a couple of specific friends in my brain when I was writing this game. When I wrote The Land Whispers, I was like, this needs to feel like something these two people would play or would have written. And that was kind of my guiding light. I will
no.
leave it to mystery as to who those people were.
Well, you can leave that to mystery, but I think I know two of the credited playtesters. Um,
You do.
so, how valuable was it to receive sort of the playtest feedback
Mhm.
in that, or how would you describe the value in receiving feedback from playtesters?
So users or playtesters or players in this case are always going to surprise you. You cannot think of every use case or every question that might come up. Case in point with mine, Ethan's first question out the gates was, "Can I play a dog?" I never would have thought about that, me personally, but he did. Simple thing.
And how did the playtest influence iterations or maybe revisions, or did it?
I I made some small changes to character establishment and getting started that I didn't have in place initially. I kind of made it so that there was a little more character framing before you actually just dove in to play the game. Original version, it was pretty much just like, okay, here's how you play, begin, which is a little off-putting and intimidating if you are not used to role play or that sort of thing. So I added a little, like a one-page section on how to like interact with each other and get a sense of who your character is before you get started.
And sort of as a segue, because I think about this critically a lot, and I know you've played in a lot of AP and off-stream games,
Mhm.
almost predominantly online. But in the terms of play, in an online streamed uh, venue,
Mhm.
how would you evaluate a successful player performance? Like, how would a player know that they were successful in uh, the act of play if
The act
performing
of play.
online? Yes.
Uh
And I know that's a deep question, but I ponder it all
ooh.
the time.
Ooh. So for performance sake, if we're talking about playing for the entertainment of others, um having fun with your fellows at the table is still super important, so you cannot discount that. First and foremost still remains, did you have fun? Second and foremost would be, did the viewers enjoy themselves? Were you engaging with the table and as your character? Did you embody your character as much as possible? And did you engage the gameplay? Some people are there to see gameplay, I assume. I personally am usually there for entertainment as a viewer, but you have those two sides you need to straddle adequately to succeed in actual play.
Who are some of your favorite players that you've played with and streamed games?
Oh,
I
well,
know that's loaded because you're going to leave someone out.
Lindy is one of my favorite people on the planet, just
Yes.
period. So,
We play in
uh,
a for the audience. We play in a non-streamed game with Yutsai Su, and Yutsai will message me privately and just be like, "Oh, Lindy is goals." I go, "Yes, I
Lindy was so
agree."
great. I had to play her husband in a game. Let's put it that way. um, Now I honestly, like, I had a very good group when I played Call of Cthulhu way back on Encounter Roleplay. It was my first time with the system. That group had pretty strong chemistry. Lindy was a fantastic story keeper, whatever they call
Keeper.
him in Call of Cthulhu. Um, and I made a couple of long-term friendships that are people I still game with out of that bunch. Hollowtail is one of my other favorites peoples.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up and put you on the spot and be like, "Okay, you can only maintain one friendship, Lindy or Hollowtail. Which one?" I won't ask that question.
I
And
would
for those of you
never.
listening,
I
they
would
both
defy
messed up.
fate and keep them both.
Good. Good. We will cut this friendship in half. I will be friends with you on Tuesday and friends with you on Wednesday, and we will merge them all into one to
You,
Wednesday.
well,
Um,
you can never have enough friends.
let's talk about the use of voice both in play and out of play. So,
Sure.
when I played games with you, you've very effectively used voice, and obviously you've had training and coaching and perform voiceover. In fact, I think I was first
Yep.
introduced to you when I watched your Twitch stream. I thought I was watching a game, but it was someone pretending the words out loud. So, uh,
Yes.
where where did the inspiration to pursue vocal performance come from in the form of voice
I
acting and voiceover?
I have always loved it, and I was always that weird kid that like knew who all the voice actors were even when I was very little. I was just like, "Oh, that was voiced by so and so." And I would like pick them out all the time. That trait has not gone away even a little. Uh and then I just got the opportunity one time when Skyrim was out in the world and there were mods, and I started I found that they needed voices for those, and I gave a whack at it, and turns out I was pretty good, I guess.
Pretty dang good, in my opinion. What are your goals for voice acting and voiceover work?
Gosh, I mean, I really like primarily I want to continue to do video games, but doing commercial VO is fun and pays the bills. Animation would be neat, but I'm not as attached to it as I am to video game voiceover. I just would enjoy doing any and all of it. If I had to pick a thing I would like to stick as a feather in my cap someday, assuming Genshin Impact is going to be around for a long time, which it sounds like it is because they're going to have a 10-year roadmap or something, I would love to voice a character in that. That'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
Have you looked at, or have you ever aspired or considered doing directing for voice acting?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I feel like I'd be okay at it. Art direction and creative direction are not all that far apart.
Yeah, in fact, I think you would be excellent at it. And if you could have sort of a dream performer to work with as a director, who would you want to direct?
Oh my god. I don't know. I'm bad at questions like that. I can't think of people like that off the fly. I'm like, anyone?
Who would who would who would say you have to, say you are working on a dramatic game and it's
Mhm.
a serious the whole world is crashing down. Now this music means we got about a minute left, but
Mhm.
the whole world is crashing down. You get three actors to work with. Who are they?
Sure. I don't know. Let's just take half the cast of Critical Role because they're all amazing. I wouldn't have to do much work.
Just so I can say yes.
Literally
All
any of
right,
them.
Jess, where can we find you online?
You can find me at Little Cup of Joe on Twitch or Twitter, and on Twitch it's at 9 p.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, you had that down to a T, so we still got a few more seconds left.
Hee.
My name is Grant Ellis, and this has been the 10-minute Tabletop Talk podcast with Jessica Osborne, Little Cup of Joe. You can download these nowhere, but you can listen to them on YouTube. Maybe one day we'll do iTunes or Stitcher. Goodbye, folks. End card song. Take us home, Sam. Boop, boo, doo, 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 doo.
Yeah.